Guys, I have some exciting news. Today, we're going to be opening up my first booster boxes of Japanese Pokemon cards, which are going to be Wild Force and Cyber Judge, which is eventually going to be translated into English, which will eventually be Temporal Forces. Continuing the theme that the Pokemon Company started with Paradox Rift of featuring ancient and future form Pokemon. And that's not the only exciting news. The first exciting news is going to be that we're going to be having a giveaway in which I'll be giving away one booster box of either Cyber Judge or Wild Forces. The winner will get to choose once I select the winner and reach out to them. And the winner will be announced February 26th. But why February 26th? That's because that's the day I will be launching my online Pokemon card store, which will be called Nexus TCG. This is probably one of the most exciting projects that I've started in a long time because I've been planning this for several months. But before we discuss why I decided to open up a Pokemon card store, let's just start cracking up these Japanese booster boxes. And let's start with Wild Forces, since we start in the past and then end with the future. Oh my gosh, these Japanese booster boxes are just on a different level. I mean, presentation wise, I absolutely love these booster boxes artworks. I mean, just to compare this booster box with let's just say Paradox Rift right over here, you're gonna tell me which one looks better displayed. I definitely say Japanese booster boxes without a doubt, but fortunately these are not going to be displayed. I am going to be cracking them open, trying to pop out the top right here. Let's go. Fit right there. Then these are just the flaps to cover up the booster packs right there. And then there are QR codes right there for, I'm assuming, the Japanese online TCG, but I don't play the online TCG, especially in Japan, so you guys can have fun with that. Oh my god, this is going to be absolutely amazing. And one thing that I do need to say that in this particular set for Japanese is the fact that each booster box is going to come with 5 cards inside of them, and nothing is promised in terms of the rarity besides commons and uncommons. But yeah, there are 30 packs inside, each with 5 packs inside. One thing that seriously attracted me to opening up Japanese booster boxes, hey, we got a holographic, let's go. Excuse the interruption right there. I just had to go get a pair of scissors because that's one thing that I don't like about Japanese booster packs is the little tabs up on top can easily damage the cards inside. But just open them up with a pair of scissors and you'll be fine. But yeah, one thing that made me attracted to, let's go. There we go, our first hit. Trio EX. Let's go. That quality in the Japanese Pokemon cards is definitely noticeable. The centering on this is actually really freaking good. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about is why I was attracted to starting to collect and sell Japanese Pokemon cards, which was the fact that how Pokemon breaks up sets compared to the English Pokemon cards, which are often very, very huge. I mean, the last couple sets have been in the 200 cards per set range. Now, since Temporal Forces in Japanese is broken up in 2 different sets, that being Cyber Judge and Wild Forces, each set does feature 100 cards, roughly 100 cards in each set, which honestly makes the individual sets much easier to collect. Also, I mentioned before that in Japan they don't really have different collection boxes for Japanese. Hey, let's go, we got our first illustration rare, or rather in Japan these are called art rares. Now if we were to compare sets, Japanese sets compared to English, honestly they can get broken up in different varieties. Let's take for example Paradox Rift. That was broken up into 3 different sets, which were Ancient Roar, Future Flash, and then Raging Surf. So like that set, which was a pretty giant English set, got broken up into 3 separate mini sets. Well, 2 regular sets in Japanese and then 1 mini set with Raging Surf. So again, by Japan doing that, and the fact that any other collection boxes like ETBs or tins makes it easier to collect Pokemon cards. Yeah, they don't get Elite Trainer boxes, collection boxes, tins, any of the extra gimmicky stuff that we, or actually I believe the rest of the world gets, which just makes collecting Pokemon cards. Let's go Torterra EX, let's go. But yeah, one thing that I like about the Japanese Pokemon cards is the fact that it's so streamlined. Now the fact with Japanese Pokemon cards, at least Pokemon booster boxes as well, is that just like English booster boxes, there is essentially a minimum guarantee on what you're going to get in each booster box. Again, it's not essentially a guarantee. Let's go. We got Raging Balls EX. Let's go. The legendary dogs from Johto's ancient form. But what was I talking beforehand? Yes, that this is not a guarantee on the actual number of cards that you'll get, but for the most part, you can pretty much bet that you're going to get the a certain minimum of hits within the booster packs. We got Roaring Moon holographic. Now for Wild Judge and Wild Force, or Cyber Judge and Wild Force, I've noticed that the hit rates are going for each booster box is going to be roughly 4 EXs and then 3 art rares, which in English those are going to be illustration rares, and then 1 secret rare, which can be a full art or can be a special art rare, which for us in English is special illustration rares, which is very cool. That essentially both versions of the booster boxes have a minimum essentially a minimum guarantee on the hit. But because of the fact that the secret rare cards like the ultra rares or the full arts and the special art rares are so difficult to pull, those tend to hold their value much better than English Pokemon cards, especially the waifu cards. I mean, on the screen right now I'm gonna pop up which, ooh, let's go, we got a Snom art rare. Let's go, very cute. Damn, this artwork is actually very freaking impressive. It's like 3D artwork as well. Very awesome. But yeah, on the waifu cards, I can see why they hold value, because if you see the Bianca special art rare in Cyber Judge and then an Airy or special art rare in Wild Force, they're very impressive artworks. One looks like the type of girl that you're going to introduce to your parents, and then the other looks like the type of girl that will ruin your life but look good doing so. Now of course in English, Wild Force, and ooh, let's go. Oh, we got Chichino artwork. That is impressive artwork. Honestly, very cool. Look at that Meryl hanging on in the background. Also Skitty underneath the table playing with the Pokeballs right there. And we got Mr. Mime back there in the window. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, Mr. Mime right in the window right there. That is seriously impressive artwork right there. But yeah, I'm looking at the art set list right now for Wild Force. And of course, a lot of their cards are going to center around the ancient forms of Pokemon, and also the fact, let's talk about the fact that Pokemon actually reintroduced spec cards into the TCG. Now I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the TCG because I don't play, but apparently a lot of the spec cards are actually very, oh, talk about the devil. Let's go. Apparently a lot of the spec cards are very useful in the actual TCG, and that's one thing that I wanted to talk about on the spec cards, that they have incredible texture and art and holographic pattern to it. Oh my gosh. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exactly the same in English once Temporal Forces actually releases, where they're gonna be pink as well, or purple, however you want to consider it. Oh my gosh, very impressive, making it desirable not only for the actual TCG but for collectors as well. Feel free to collect me down in the comments if you know better than me, but I believe that the ace spec cards are promised in each booster box. I think like one in every booster box in Japanese. Now I don't know how it's gonna play out in English, since again we have all the other gimmicky products like the elite trainer boxes, collection boxes, tins, and all that. I have no idea how the pull rates are going to be, though you can pretty much guarantee that English Temporal Forces is going to be at essentially at the minimum of 1 hit per pack. Sorry, not 1 hit per pack. I meant to say 1 hit for every 3 packs for the main sets of since the Scarlet and Violet era started. But let's see what we got real quick in this pack. Let's go! We just pulled our secret rare in this set, which is going to be the Gengar full art. Oh my gosh, I wish I could actually get it with my camera. Come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. I picked it up. Gengar full art, or in English it's going to be an ultra rare. And apparently this is the top card in terms of full arts. Obviously the special art rares are going to be much more expensive than the full arts, but oh my gosh, at like $32, that is impressive. I definitely got my money's worth with this Wild Force booster box, which again, because of essentially the minimum guarantee of hits, it's relatively easy to get your money's worth with these booster boxes, especially considering that most of the time these booster boxes are, let's go, we got Gorging Fire EX, let's go. I love the Johto dogs. Honestly, Gen 2 is one of my most favorite generations, along with Gen 3. Those are the two that I spent the most time playing. So that's also one thing that I need to touch base on, is the fact that Japanese booster boxes are also way less expensive than English booster boxes. I'm talking about, depending on which set specifically, which ones we're talking about here, but for the most part, it's a roughly $20 cheaper than English booster boxes at minimum, I would say. There we go, finally got it open. That's my only gripe with Japanese booster packs that I'm discovering so far, is the fact that that pull tab up on the top is not very easy to work, and when it does, it can damage the cards up on the top corner, top right hand corner. But if you pull the back, most of the time the packs just open up like regular packs, or get a pair of scissors and cut the packs up on the top. And we're down to our last pack of Wild Force. Oh my gosh, I easily just got my money back from all these packs, from this booster box with all the freaking amazing hits. Let's see if we can get any last pack magic. Nope, we did not. Come on, there we go, focus, but we didn't get any hit with that pack. So yeah, as you can see here, with one booster box I got 5 holographic cards, which one thing that I do like about Japanese Pokemon cards is that they're treating holographic cards as actual hits instead of English Pokemon cards with Scarlet and Violet era, where they just treat them as bare minimum hit rates for rares. We got 4 EXs as well, 3 art rares, which in English again are illustration rares, 1 ace spec card, and then 1 full art card, which is going to be the secret rare card for this Japanese booster box. This is absolutely incredible value right here. I don't know exactly what the value is, but I definitely got my money's worth for this booster box right here. All right, now we're moving on to Cyber Judge, which again is going to be essentially the second half of Temporal Forces. And I'm looking at the art list as well, and it has some insane artworks in there. Like obviously the Bianca, which is going to be the top card of the set, but we also got Iron Boulder, a special art rare as well. And also for the regular art rares, we got Siftree, which honestly he looks so badass, which again is from Generation 3. Oh my gosh, let's go! And with the first pack magic, we got Fairy Garif. Terrestrialize? I can't pronounce it. Terraform. Also guys, excuse the fact that this video is going to be kind of a longer video, just because when you're opening up Japanese booster boxes, and at least multiple booster boxes, it does tend to get pretty long in terms of video length. But honestly, it doesn't really bother me that I have to open. Let's go! We got Caesar! Oh my gosh, yes, so many Gen 2 and Gen 3 Pokemon game featured with Temporal Forces. Honestly, I think Temporal Forces is going to be one of my favorite sets of the of the Scarlet and Violet era. Oh my gosh. But what I wanted to discuss about on the second half of this video is the fact of my new business venture of owning a Pokemon TCG store. Oh my gosh. As you guys may already know, if you have been a subscriber here for a while, is the fact that I am going to be moving back to Wisconsin. I was thinking by the end of March, but because my friends are thinking of staying a full week in Chicago at the end of April, it really wouldn't make sense for me to move back at the end of March and then spend a week or two trying to find a job and then essentially another week or so go on vacation for a full week. Honestly, no one is going to want to hire me, or they're not going to want to give me the vacation days for the end of April. So I just thought it easier just to delay my move back by a month or so till after April, just until after that vacation in Chicago. But because I am moving, I wanted to start another business, since technically at this point I've started, and realistically I started 2 businesses in my lifetime. And that's one thing that my parents drilled into me, is that you never want to wait for someone else to give you opportunities. You should build opportunities all by yourself. And I very much enjoy building businesses and the challenges that come with each one. And the reason I chose the Pokemon TCG, hey, let's go, Charge a Bug, special illustration, or not special illustration, sorry. I'm getting used to the English cards. I was gonna say art rare in Japanese. Look at that back on the Japanese cards though, very, very impressive. It's due to the fact that since I am moving back, I'm going to have more time on my hands. And I am someone who loves to be independent in terms of independent and diverse on my source of income. Depend on one paycheck from my one job. Because if anything happens, like a lot of people have been getting laid off in the workforce lately, and I don't ever want to fall victim to living paycheck to paycheck. And hopefully eventually I will be able, hey, let's go, we got our A spec for this booster box. So like how I said earlier in this video, at this point in my life I've started 2 businesses. My first one being a personal training business, which I didn't get to operate for too long just because I started a construction company down here in South Carolina, as my father as my first employee. Ooh, let's go, we got our secret rare for Cyber Judge booster box, Farigiraf Terraformed. Let's go. Not too expensive, but I mean, hey, you can't complain when you're pulling Pokemon cards, since essentially it's essentially gambling. But for my personal training business, it was successful, at least it was profitable. It didn't make too much money, since within my first year I was working with no reputation whatsoever in the personal training business world. But it was profitable in my first year. And then my construction company, that is extremely profitable. It's a 6-figure company, so that's pretty awesome. And thankfully it has grown. Hey, Licking Tongue getting his licks in on that cotton candy. Or is that cotton candy? No, that's ice, shaved ice with the flavoring getting poured into it. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed the challenge of building companies. And technically, while I didn't start a company when I was building my video game collection, it was extremely profitable, because I think I started building out my collection with like way less than $500, and then eventually it grew to a collection worth, I think, like at one point over $10,000. And the way I did that was just selling the games or consoles that I just didn't want, and keeping the pieces that I actually did, so I can keep reusing those $500 and just rinse and repeat. So technically speaking, I've built 3 profitable companies or side hustles, and not dependent on one paycheck is definitely something that I have a lot of experience in. So going into selling Pokemon cards was just a no-brainer, especially with the fact that I love the hobby so much. And since I'm going to be starting a new chapter in my life, and when it comes to moving back to Wisconsin and moving in with some of my best friends, it just seemed like the best time to start the Pokemon card business, which again, my Pokemon card store is going to be called Nexus TCG and is going to launch February 26th. And when it comes to what I'm going to be selling on my store, is going to be Japanese sealed product, which is going to be the Japanese booster boxes. Right now, starting off with Cyber Judge and Wild Force, and I'm looking to get as well Shiny Treasures EX, just because Shiny Treasures is a very popular set right now. Obviously, it's the current set right now in English, which is going to be Paldean and Fate. So since that set is still current, ooh, let's go. We got Iron Leaves EX. Let's go. Since it's Paldean and Fates is the current set, I definitely want to capture the wave of Paldean and Fates buyers, and I also want to be early when it comes to selling Temporal Forces early, which again in Japanese is Cyber Judge and Wild Forces. While I'm going to be selling Japanese booster boxes, I am also going to be, at least I'm planning to also include singles, English singles. Ooh, let's go! We got Litten's Art Rare. Let's go. Beautiful artwork. Very, very cute. We got at least 2 Littens in this artwork. We got one up on the upper left hand corner and then one in the middle right behind the books. But yeah, English singles as well, which I have a plan on how to acquire a lot of English singles, which I am going to be uploading a video about me opening up my card store on March 26th, which is going, sorry, not March 26th, I meant to say February 26th, which again is the date that I'm going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway of either of these booster boxes, the Cyber Force or Cyber Judge or Wild Force, which the winner will be able to choose once I reach out to them. Alright, just a quick recap on what I pulled for Cyber Judge, which again were the 3 art rares, 4 of the regular EXs, 1 of the Ace specs, and then 1 secret rare, which was the Fairy Garif. I can never get used to saying that name, it is so weird. While I don't think I beat the price of this booster box, I definitely got my money's worth with these hits. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys can, please hit that like button if you're excited for my new business venture that I'm going to be doing. I'm really hoping that it works out, but I'm also the type of person who loves gambling on myself because I know I can produce results. Also, if you want to enter into that giveaway of either Cyber Judge or Wild Force booster box, Japanese booster box, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and comment down below if you already collect Japanese Pokemon cards and what's your favorite part about collect Japanese Pokemon cards. But yeah, February 26th is the date of Nexus TCG. This has been Nexus Alexis. This is where Pokemon cards and video games come to play, and no matter how hard your road to victory is, train on, gamers.